Bitcoin mining. As a matter of fact, it's the future of technology. But how does it exactly work? Well, think of Bitcoin as a maze or a puzzle. Imagine walking through a maze from start to finish. And imagine doing that maze 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. That's right, that is Bitcoin. Well, it's kind of like a maze. Let's say you and 1,000 friends were put in a maze which was 10 times as big as this maze over here. Eventually, one of your friends would get out of the maze and come to the finish line. And when you guys have phones, you probably just tell yourself, it's this way you do it or something. That's kind of like how Bitcoin works. It's a 1,000-foot by 1,000-foot maze. And the more people there are, the easier it is to find a way out. Kind of like this. Bitcoin, imagine all those people as computers. And imagine there's a big maze. And the easier the people find the way out of the maze, the bigger the maze gets. That's basically what Bitcoin is. It's basically a puzzle which keeps expanding. And the more people come into that maze, or the more computers that come into that maze, the bigger the maze gets. And it's kind of like this. Let's say you found a way. Let's say in this big maze, you found a way out the first part of the maze, and you get rewarded with money. That's kind of like this. That's kind of like how Bitcoin works. The big computers or the big dogs with 100 people will easily find their way out, where the small dogs, like the normal computers with 50, 30 people, will find their way out. Well, obviously, not as soon as the 100 people group with 100 people, but it will take a bit more time, but they'll eventually find their way out. And it's kind of like this. The longer it takes you to get out of the maze, the more money you lose. That's kind of like how Bitcoin works. Also like a Rubik's Cube. Let's say you had 1,000 Rubik's Cubes and you were just one person who had to solve it, versus 10 people who were given the task of solving all these Rubik's Cubes, and they had the same IQ, and they could all do it in the same time. That's kind of like this. The bigger your GPU or graphics processing unit, which is known to play games, can do Bitcoin mining. Kind of like an RTX 3080, a $700 graphics card, is a group of 10, 15 people. Well, like a GTX 1060 is a group with, well, let's just say 5 people. The GTX 3080, the RTX 3080 will do about 3 times faster than the GTX 1060 because that's 15 people. That's the same example. There are thousands of Bitcoin out there, but the famous ones are, well, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Dogecoin, which most likely got popular just because of its name. This is kind of how Bitcoin works. It's basically a big puzzle, like a big number, and you have to crack the code, kind of. These are all the Bitcoins. The famous ones are Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are the ones which are high right now and you should invest in. This is like an example of a Bitcoin mining station. This is like a group of 1,000 people given 1,000 Rubik's Cubes to solve. They'll each solve it in, let's just say, 10 seconds, which means their profit would be about 1,000 times better than like a normal PC with 10 people to solve 1,000 Rubik's Cubes, which that would take about 100 times longer than this supercomputer. This is another example in China. If you want to mine your own Bitcoin and get your free PC, you should want to do something like this. But the problem is right now these are too expensive. When they actually cost $1,000 to make, people are selling them for $5,000, $6,000 just because Bitcoin is so high. So, if you want to do Bitcoin mining and get your free PC, this is what you should do. So first, I would recommend getting an RTX 3080 because it has the best power, price to performance, and stuff like that. You should get the base model for the RTX 3080. Or if you don't have that much money, you can get like an RTX 3070, like this. With Honey, you'll save about $150, but I recommend going with the RTX 3080 because you make the most money. $10 a day versus $6 a day. Knock off the 50 cents because of electricity costs. So yeah, this is how much you get.